Hello students, we will be starting the second portion of our chapter, the circulatory system. And the circulatory system, it consists of heart, arteries, veins and capillaries. Next, heart. So, heart is situated right in the center between two lungs and above the diaphragm. This is the location of heart. It's situated right in the center between the two lungs and above the diaphragm. Now, the heart is a four-chambered, it consists of the four chambers. The two auricles are there, which is also called as atria, and two ventricles are there. Now, you can see in this figure, there's a right atrium, left atrium, there's a right ventricle, left ventricle is there, posterior vena cava, then inferior, anterior vena cavas. These portions are already shown in that picture. So, atrium is also called as auricle, that we will discuss later. Now, we have a common belief that the heart is located on the left side of the of the chest. And it has been said that the heart is situated right in the center. But we have a common belief that heart is located on left side of the chest. The reason behind this is that the narrow end of the triangular heart is pointed towards the left side, and during working or doing some mechanical works, the contraction of the heart is most powerful at this end. So we get a feeling that heart is situated on the left side. I repeat, we get a feeling that the heart is situated on our left side. The reason behind this is that the narrow end of the heart, the triangular portion of our heart, is pointed towards the left side, and during working, the contraction of this of the heart is powerful at this point, at this end. So that gives us a feeling that heart is situated on the left side. In the heart, in adult human, is covered by a double membrane covering that is called as pericardium, and this double membrane covering is filled with a fluid, and the fluid is called as pericardial fluid. And the main function of this pericardial fluid is to reduce the friction between heartbeat and also to protect the heart from any type of mechanical injuries. Chambers of the heart. Heart consists of four chambers, two auricles, which is also called as atria, and two ventricles. Auricles are situated on the upper side and ventricles are situated on the lower side. Now, auricles have thin muscular walls. The auricles have thin muscular walls because their main function is to receive the blood from the body and to pump it to the next ventricle. So they have a thinner muscular wall, whereas the ventricles have thick muscular wall. Why? Because they need to pump blood to long distance. Right ventricle pumps blood to the lungs for oxygenation, and left ventricle pump it to the each and every part of our body is oxygenated blood. Next, blood vessels entering and leaving the heart. So, the blood vessels that entering the heart, first is the right atrium, the right auricle. They receives two large vessels. You can see in this figure, this anterior vena cava and posterior vena cavas are shown. So, the right auricle, they receives two vessels. One is the anterior vena cava and another is the posterior vena cava. Anterior vena cava is also called as superior vena cava, and posterior vena cava is also called as inferior vena cava. And these vena cavas, they bring deoxygenated blood. Anterior vena cava, they brings deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body, including head, chest and arms. And posterior vena cava, they brings deoxygenated blood from lower region or lower portion of our body, including abdomen, legs, etc. So, right auricle receives deoxygenated blood through anterior vena cavas and posterior vena cavas from upper and lower portion of body. Next, so the left atrium or auricle, they receives four pulmonary veins, And these pulmonary veins, they bring oxygenated blood. Next is the blood vessel leaving the heart. So, arising from the ventricles, there are two large blood vessels. One is pulmonary artery and another is the aorta. Now, this pulmonary artery, it arises from right ventricle and they carry deoxygenated blood to lungs. I repeat, deoxygenated blood by superior and inferior vena cavas reaches to right auricle. From right auricle, it comes to right ventricle. Now, this deoxygenated blood must reach to lungs for oxygenation. So, from right ventricle, this deoxygenated blood goes to lungs by pulmonary artery. And next is the aorta. This aorta, they arises from left ventricle and they carries oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. Actually, what happens? The deoxygenated blood by pulmonary artery, it goes to lungs. Now, when we exhale carbon dioxide and we take oxygen, so it became a pure blood. Now, this oxygenated blood comes to the left auricle by pulmonary veins. And from the left auricle, it comes to left ventricle. From there, by aorta, it reaches to each and every part of our body. Next is coronary arteries. Now, there are two coronary arteries are there. You can see in this figure about this coronary artery. Left coronary artery and right coronary artery is there. Now, these coronary arteries, they are arising from the base of aorta. And their main function is to supply the heart muscles. And whenever there is a blockage in this coronary artery, either one or more of blockages are there, that causes heart attack or myocardial infarction. Next, valves that regulate the flow of blood in a single direction. Now, the first valve is right atrioventricular valve. This right atrioventricular valve is also called as tricuspid valve, and this valve is situated between right auricle and right ventricle. Next is a left atrioventricular valve. This left atrioventricular valve is also called as bicuspid valve or mitral valve, situated between left auricle and left ventricle. Pulmonary semilunar valves, that is situated at the opening of right ventricle into pulmonary artery. Right ventricle to pulmonary artery, there is a valve. That valve is called as pulmonary semilunar valve. And there is an aortic semilunar valve that is located at the point of origin of aorta from left ventricle. So, from left ventricle to aorta, there is also one valve that is called as aortic semilunar valves. So, this is a diagram of a heart. You can see the aorta is there, pulmonary arteries to left lung, pulmonary arteries to right lung is there, left atrium, pulmonary veins, semilunar valves, bicuspid valve, left ventricle. Septum. Septum is a part that differentiates right part and the left part of the heart. And its main function, it doesn't allow the deoxygenated and oxygenated blood to get mingled, to mix up. Then there is a inferior vena cava, right ventricle, tricuspid valve, chordae tendineae is there. The right atrium. This chordae tendineae, these are flaps, they are held in position. This tricuspid valves, they are held in position by this chordae tendineae. And they are arising from a muscular projection of the ventricular wall. And that muscular projection of the ventricular wall, that is called as papillary muscle. So, chordae tendineae are arising from the papillary muscles. And their main function is to keep the tricuspid valves in position. Right atrium is a pulmonary artery, superior vena cava. Next, circulation of blood in the heart. So, first point is Oxygen-rich blood enters the heart from the lungs and goes out to the body. Okay, so it starts with the contraction of the two auricles. When these auricles they contract, so ventricles at that time are relaxing, they are empty. So blood can easily pass from auricle to ventricle. Now when the ventricles gets contract, the auricles they are in relaxed state. So the blood from the ventricles under pressure, they tend to return to the auricle. But as the valves are there, the tricuspid and bicuspid valves are there, they do not allow the blood to go back. They stop the backflow of blood. Okay. Now there is one more chordate tendinous also there that also hold the valves in position. There is a left chordate tendinous, a right chordate tendinous also there. So the only course left for this ventricular valve is to enter either to pulmonary artery from right ventricle and to aorta from left ventricle. So the mouths of the this pocket are like valves at the base of these two blood vessels. They face away from the ventricles. And this pulmonary artery also contains a valves. It is a pulmonary semilunar valves, and aorta is also having this aortic semilunar valves. Their functions are same. They do not allow the backflow of blood from pulmonary artery to right ventricle, and from aortic valves, it stops the backflow of blood from the aorta to left ventricle. And when the ventricles they dilate, the blood from the pulmonary artery and aorta, they tend to return, yes, and these valves, it closes the passage. So the oxygen-rich blood enters the heart from lungs and goes out to the body. So the deoxygenated blood, as it reaches to these lungs, then the oxygenated blood should come to left side of the heart. Then oxygen poor blood that enters the heart from the body out to the lungs. The right auricle, they receives deoxygenated blood from the body and they pump it to right ventricle to the tricuspid valve. Then they pump that to lungs to the pulmonary artery. The left auricle, they receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through pulmonary veins. The pure blood then reaches to left ventricle through mitral valve, from where it goes to aorta and finally to all parts of the body. So this is about the circulation of blood in heart. I repeat once more. At first, the circulation of blood starts with the contraction of two auricles. So when the auricles contract, ventricles are in relaxed state. So easily blood can enter to the ventricle. Next, when the ventricles contract, the auricles they are in relaxed state. So they tend to go up, that is to auricle, but the valves like tricuspid and bicuspid valves are there. They do not allow the blood to go to auricles. Moreover, these are structures, chordate tendinous also there that do not allow the blood to go back. Now the only work left for the blood from right ventricle and from left ventricle is to come to the pulmonary artery and to aorta. So the blood can easily come to pulmonary artery. There is also one valve is there that prevent the backflow of blood from pulmonary artery to right ventricle. And from left ventricle, pure blood goes to aorta. So, and there is also one valve that is called as aortic semilunar valves. And from there, through aorta, it reaches to each and every part of our body. So, pure blood from the lungs, it comes by pulmonary vein. Next, heartbeat. A heartbeat is a two-part pumping action that takes about a second. It's a two-part pumping action that takes about a second. So, all of you understood the circulation of blood? Should I repeat once more? The right auricle, they receives deoxygenated blood from the body and they pump it to right ventricle to tricuspid valve. Then the right ventricle pump the deoxygenated blood to the lungs through pulmonary artery. The left auricle there receives oxygenated blood from the lungs through pulmonary vein. The pure blood then reaches to left ventricle through mitral valve, from where it goes to aorta and finally to all parts of our body. So this is about the circulation of blood in heart. Next is the heartbeat. So heartbeat is a two-part pumping action, and each heartbeat consists of two main steps. The first step is the auricles contract, followed by contraction of ventricles. So first step is when auricles contract, that is followed by the ventricles. So when auricles at first they contract, which is followed by the contraction of ventricles. And this phase is called as contraction phase, which is also called as systole. And the relaxation phase is called as diastole. And at the end of this ventricular systole means contraction and diastole means relaxation. So at the end of this ventricular systole, ventricular contraction, the ventricle starts relaxing. That is called as ventricular diastole. Auricles also they relax. It is called as atrial diastole. And this whole sequence of event, that is a contraction and expansion, that is called as cardiac cycle. Heart sounds. Now, the first sound produced by these atrioventricular valves. First sound is produced when the atrioventricular valves gets closed. The first sound that is called as loop. And the second sound dup is produced at the beginning of the ventricular diastole. That is when the semilunar valves, the root of aorta and pulmonary artery gets closed. So first sound produces when bicuspid and tricuspid valves gets closed. The first sound is the loop. And the dup sound is produced when the ventricular diastole, at the beginning of the ventricular diastole, that means the semilunar valves at the pulmonary artery and the root of aorta gets closed. Rate of heartbeat. Now, this heart rate is the speed of the heartbeat and is measured by the number of contraction of heart per minute. And this heartbeat, it varies individuals to individual. Okay. Now, some of the variations in heart per minute is like that in case of adult man, it is 64 to 72 beats per minute. Whereas in case of adult woman, it is 72 to 80 per minute. And smaller the size, faster is the heart rate. The size, there is a relationship between the size of the body and the rate of heartbeat. Smaller the size, faster the heartbeat. Why? Because smaller the animal, the more it loses its body heat. Why? This is due to higher surface volume ratio. So, the increased heart rate, it distributes body heat faster. So, students, we had finished till circulation of blood here, till the heartbeat and heart sound. Now, we will be discussing about the next portion in our next class. Some home assignments are there for you. That is question number 1, give reasons. The left ventricle has thicker wall than the right ventricle. The walls of the right ventricle are thicker than those of right auricle. The blood groups of both the donor and recipient must be known before transfusing blood. Smaller the size, faster the heart rate. So all of you try to do these home assignments because each and every power portions we had already discussed here. So thank you.